I looked at the 10 largest companies in the world by market capitalization, and the list is Apple, Microsoft, Alphabet, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, NVIDIA, Berkshire Hathaway, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, TSMC, and finally Saudi Aramco, the oil company from Saudi Arabia. And Meta, sorry, I forgot Meta, Facebook, 10th one. Two observations about this. 8 of those 10 companies were created after 1970. 5 of the 10 were created after 1990. This is the first time in the history of the world. We have 5 of the largest companies of the world, which are about 50 years old, which is extraordinary in terms of technology. But for me, what this underlines is the importance and power of innovation in the economy today. And this is an area where we in Africa are not at a disadvantage. We can innovate as well and as much as anybody else. And this is a competition where I believe we will play a leading role. So, coming back to Africa, it is my belief that among you today, we have the potential to develop and grow equally successful companies if we play our cards right. And I'd like to emphasize that those giants all started as SMEs. There is not a single one of them that wasn't started by 1 or 2 people in a garage somewhere, dreaming. And this ability to dream is something we all share. And I think we should have the ambition one day of seeing an African company among those top 10 in the world. I believe that SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, are everywhere the lifeblood of the economy and can never receive too much focus. Because the way to create one of those giants of the world economy is really for SMEs to succeed and grow and become one day a player on the world stage.
Small, medium enterprises. I know that this is very, very close to your heart. How do we ensure that small, medium enterprises, the lifeblood of the African economy, really get a leg up at this stage?
I'm very happy to be saying this in Togo because really under the leadership of President Gnassingbé, Togo is one of those countries who recognizes the importance of SMEs. I really get annoyed when people talk about the informal sector because it's treating the heart of the economy like the periphery. The heart of the economy is the SMEs, is the informal sector. They are the ones who provide food, clothes, transportation every day to hundreds of millions of Africans. So, and I listened closely to what President Gnassingbé said earlier, it was absolutely true. Creating a positive environment for them, allowing them to grow, is the only path to having national champions, as Anna said, because every large company in the world started as an SME. Okay? Any and every company. If you take Renault in France, it was 2 brothers in a garage in Boulogne-Billancourt who started it. Okay? You take Microsoft, you take Tesla today, all of them were started as SMEs. So the path to having great successful companies is to nurture the SMEs, and look after them very well. I also passionately believe that the path to attracting foreign investment is to treat the domestic companies well. Because I was a CEO of a multinational. You will not invest as a multinational in a country if you see that the local companies who are born in the country, who are native of the country, who speak the language, who know everybody, can't succeed. You just won't come. Because what are your chances? So really, nurturing the domestic economy, ensuring that you have prosperous SMEs in the country is the best way to attract foreign investment and encourage foreign companies to come and invest in the country. If you don't have confidence in your own country, if you don't believe in yourself, who's going to believe in you? So really, it's just such simple logic, but it's just fundamental. I'm going to get personal here, but this is also my life. I was at the Lycée Classique d'Abidjan. I'll never forget. When I was 17, I wanted to go study in France, and I went to get my grades. It's a personal anecdote, but the censeur, he was a Frenchman, Mr. Guizolf. He said, "Why do you need your grades?" I said, "Well, because I want to go to class préparatoire, and I hope someday to get into Polytechnique." And he laughed so hard, I still remember his laugh. He said, "What? Do you know what Polytechnique is?" I said, "Yes, sir, that's why I want to go there." he said, "You have no chance." So one of the best moments in my life, 2 years later, I came to say hello during the holiday. I said, "Sir, you know what I'm doing now?" I got into Polytechnique. So I really, I've spent all my life, when I was at Aviva, I was CEO for Europe at 15 countries. They were doing a CEO succession. They didn't even interview me. I was running 50% of the group. And the CEO of Prudential called me and he said, look, I heard what those people did. Why don't you come over here? At least we'll give you a chance to be CEO. So and the rest happened. So you can't let people tell you you can't do this. When I said we're going to have a toll bridge in Africa, same thing, the same laugh. I would go around, promote the idea of a toll bridge in Abidjan. People would just laugh. They don't even listen to you. Okay? I said, why are you laughing? Oh, Africans are never going to pay a toll. I said, why? Don't we have a brain? Don't we have a wallet? Can people realize that with my bridge, they're going to save 10 kilometers on every trip? Don't they pay for fuel and gas? So pushing people, because, sorry, I'm going to be blunt. Behind those laughs, there's just prejudice. Nothing else. Okay? So,
I think the audience celebrates when you are blunt, when you are personal.
okay, no, because they were like, oh, you can. So anyway, we did studies, traffic study after traffic study. For 3 years, the project was blocked because these people wouldn't believe that Africans were smart enough to understand that it was a saving to take a shorter route. So things like that are infuriating, and the enemy is skepticism. You need to just push through those things, believe in ourselves, have our own ideas, our own projects, and implement them, and not let people tell us that we can't do this or we can't do that.